It's your girl, Tracy, bringing to you some Shopify goodness today. What we're going to do is we're going to take it from the top and we are going to talk about why Shopify is so popular right now and why you should get on the bandwagon. Okay, so we're going to start from the top. A lot of y'all might have Shopify already, but we're going to act like you don't. My top reasons for having Shopify is because it is very beginner friendly to navigate. I have been in the trenches with other websites to understand why I recommend Shopify and what I will recommend to a newbie who's never had a website before. So my biggest reason for that is because it's easier to navigate. Shopify has a very interactive and very well laid out platform, and we'll get into that in a second, but I need y'all to hear me and understand why I love it so much and why so many others love it so much. The ease of use, okay? Other platforms have so many more hoops to jump through to even get to your website to be able to lay out everything, put your products up and everything like that. Shopify is so easy to use, very user friendly. It is also very cost effective. Okay, so there's another platform that's a little bit more hefty on the price, and there's another platform that actually is free. But the thing is, sometimes you get what you pay for, right? So while some platforms may be free, Shopify, again, is the easiest one to get through. They have more digestible ways of maneuvering through to get your products seen by the masses, okay? One of the biggest reasons why I love Shopify is the option to gain capital funding. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me though. Capital funding. What the heck is that, Tracy? It's called funds that are available to you based on your sales and your sales alone, not your credit. We don't care what Credit Karma's saying. It's based on your sales, right? You don't have to make six figures in order to get capital funding. You just need to get consistent sales running through your stores to be eligible for capital funding. And several of us have gotten it, and it comes in handy. Now, I understand not everybody needs capital funding, and that's cool. But to know that you have it available should you need it, because you never know when that printer's going to go down. You never know when you're going to run out of material. There's so many different what ifs that capital funding availability will come in clutch for you. They also have a lot of options. So Shopify is one of those websites that you can stack things on it to make it greater. You could take this little piece of bread, right? This is the only thing I could think of. Maybe a sandwich. You're gonna build a sandwich, and Shopify is the bread. They got apps within the website builder to add the condiments, tomatoes, the pickles, the lettuce, the mayonnaise. Okay, they have apps that are within there that'll make your website function even greater, get more stuff from your customers, more information that'll help you to be able to market to them, right? So those are the top reasons why I love Shopify. I will rock hard for Shopify, but I do stay well versed in other platforms to give you what you need. But I really truly will always ride for and recommend Shopify. So what I'm going to do from here on out is I'm going to share my test store with you so that I can show you the basics. I'm going to show you the dashboard of Shopify so that you know how to maneuver around it. I also want to put out this disclaimer that I always recommend on any platform that you are new to and you dive into to run your business, play in it. You can't mess nothing up that can't be undone. Play in it, because if you had a brick and mortar store that you turn the key to enter into and all that stuff, you would need to know the ins and outs of that store. Online boutique with Shopify or any other platform is the same sandwich. You have to get in there and play and understand what the heck these buttons are so that you could be missing out on something that could help you gain some more traction with more customers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my test store. We're going to briefly talk about certain aspects of it that are important. This is just going to be the basics of the dashboard. So again, we're going to act like you've never seen Shopify before. This is your first time, and I'm going to briefly describe what the heck you're looking at. First and foremost, I'm going to show you that they have a setup guide, and it's very thorough. It tells you what you need to do next. So they have something right on the dashboard. As soon as you open it, it tells you import products, import orders. We're not going to do that. Double check migration if you're coming from another website, but it gives you a rundown of things that they all might not apply, but it gives you a rundown of what you need to check. Okay. So again, I always say this is your dashboard, y'all. This is the homepage of Shopify. On the left-hand side is your dashboard and all the things, all the driving elements of Shopify. And a lot of it is self-explanatory. You got your orders. Anytime you get an order, we love that Shopify cha-ching, don't we? Yes, we do. Anybody who's got it, they love that cha-ching. You could wake me up at 4 a.m. We love that cha-ching. That's where all your orders are going to come. Products, again, self-explanatory. That is where you're going to input all of the products, whether they be digital, whether they be physical, you can put them there. Okay. Customers, that is where you'll see your customer information, and that is going to help you with the marketing aspect. You really want to market to your customers so that you can keep them in the know of all your new products coming out and any deals, especially with the holidays coming up. Come on, y'all. So this is where your customer information is going to come. And as you can see, it tells you how many orders they have placed and how much money they have spent with you. Okay. I hear VIP. If they spend a lot of money with you, they need to be classified as VIP, honey. Okay. But we'll get into that. Content. This is the tab where you typically will upload any, like your website banners, any videos and stuff like that. So files, that's what a file is. Pictures, banners, product, logo. Okay. Finance. The finance tab is what you really want to know about. Now, see, also Shopify has a debit card. So some of y'all, I always recommend you have a business account, but if you don't, or you need your money sooner, they do have a debit card. So finance tab will let you know how much money you have, and if you have the debit card, it'll tell you what your balance is on that debit card. And you can see what you're spending money on and how much money is coming in and how much is going out. It's a very wonderful thing. They also have the ability for you to apply for a credit card. Now that you have to go through some eligibility. There's no eligibility for the debit card. There is an eligibility for the credit. Okay. And bill pay is an option where they allow you to pay bills through your store. Okay. I would recommend only paying, if you choose that option, only business expenses. Okay. Let's keep it business. Keep the business and personal funds separate. All right. Analytics. The analytics, again, is going to give you a bird's eye view of what your sales are. It's also going to tell you what channel. What is a channel, Tracy? The channel is, and as you can see down here, sales channels. Where in the world did that customer come from? Was it Google? Was it Facebook? Was it they came directly to my store? They punched in www.mybusiness.com. It's going to tell you where it came from, and that's going to help you to focus on maybe if Facebook is bringing you more sales, maybe you need to focus your attention on Facebook more to get to your customers. Okay. Again, we just doing a brief summary on all these sections, but they also have reports. Okay. Reports will break it down even more. We can really analyze more in depth what information is going to help her market to her customers. So if you go through all of these little things, again, we're not going to spend too much time here, but baby, Shopify is making it so easy for you to understand your business. And you don't even have to have a brick and mortar, honey. It's right here at you could be in the comfort of your own home. Click on a report and get your information quick, fast, and in a hurry. Live view is a fun thing because it'll let you see if you're running a Black Friday special, it'll allow you to see who is on your website right now and where are they. This is a test store, but when you have a sale, this will light up like a Christmas tree and telling you where all your customers are at, how many people are checking out. This is a really fun way to market to other people who aren't yet your customers, because guess what? If they see that social proof is you showing other people who may not be your customer right now, you're showing them social proof that people like your product, they like your product or your customer service. They like you, okay, enough to be on your page getting these products or services, okay? So that's a fun thing to show. Like if you have a Black Friday sale, go ahead and show them people, go live or go on your stories and show, look how many people are on my website for this Black Friday sale. I'm going to skip over a couple things. Discounts is a way that you can reward your customers. It's one of the ways that you can reward your customers by way of giving a 10% discount to newbies. You can give a holiday discount. You can say, hey, I'm on live right now and I'll give 20% to everybody. You can create discounts to bring more customers to you or reward people who keep coming back, honey. There is another way to show that gratification, that appreciation, and we'll get into that, okay? But discounts is that, okay, enter this code at checkout, or you can do automatic discounts where the customer doesn't have to remember a code. It'll automatically come off. Let me go to apps. I told you I was going to skip around a little bit because one aspect is going to help you understand another. Okay, remember I was telling you in the beginning that Shopify is the hamburger bun. And then there's elements within Shopify that'll let you build that sandwich. Add the tomatoes, the pickles, the lettuce, the mayonnaise. That's apps. So on your dashboard, you have access to additional apps that will help you run your business more efficiently. Just like you have apps on your phone, you download a Shopify, you download a Facebook from your app store. This is the same thing within Shopify. And you can go in here and search what it is you need, okay? So if I click on apps and I go here to all recommended apps, and don't get overwhelmed, okay? If you need to pause this replay when it becomes a replay, pause it and run it back if you need to. So this is the app store. There are 3 apps that I recommend you start out with. One of them is popped up front and center right here. So there are 3 apps that I recommend you start out with off the rip. Email. You need a way to communicate with your customers. Keep them in the know. Keep relevant in the minds of your customers, please and thank you. Because if you don't remember already, Shopify Instagram went down at least 2 times that I know, right? And so for those people who didn't have an email connection and an email list for their customers, they were sweating bullets. I remember the last time it went down and I was supposed to go live and I was able to communicate to my customers via email, hey, the fact that they went down doesn't stop no show here. We're still going live. Meet me on Zoom, right? So you have to keep those lines of communication open to your customers. Shopify email is very easy to navigate. And again, it's something that we can go into in more depth later on. Again, let us know what you're struggling with so we know what you need help with. But to add an app to your store, you just click on it and click install. It's very, very easy, just like with your phone. I know y'all have added apps on your phone. Y'all got the tickety-tockety, the Facebook, and all the other stuff. Okay, so it is installed. It's already telling me to create my first campaign. What? The other app, so I'm going to go back to apps. See, it's already added. It'll give you a list of all the running apps that you have on your store. The next one that I would recommend is Judge Me. That is the social proof side of your store. It'll show other people that when your customers leave a review, it'll show the other people, hey, people are buying from me and they love me and they love my customer service, or whatever your customer may have said, right? So again, in order, 33,587 people love this app. They've reviewed it and it's got 5 stars. That means if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go ahead and add it. Install. That's how you install your apps, y'all. And then the third app that I recommend is like a terms and conditions app. There are so many apps that I recommend, but those would be my top 3. That is called RT Terms and Conditions. This is like a safeguard to use in connection with your policies. You must have policies on your page. Policies are what are your shipping policies? What is your refund policies if you have one? What are ordering policies? Whatever a policy may be for you and how it is for your business, you should have these type of apps like terms and conditions box to work hand in hand with those policies. What this does, and I actually just released a video on how to add this to your website. If any of y'all have seen when you go to checkout and you have to toggle a box that says you've read the terms and conditions, that is almost like a safeguard for you in case a customer ever tried to come back and do a chargeback saying basically she didn't deliver on what she said she was going to give, so I want my refund. But no, ma'am, you just didn't read the terms and conditions, but Shopify shows on the order page that you agreed to it. That's my pushback on your chargeback, okay? The bounce back is real. So terms and conditions, I love that because that, again, just is like another checkpoint to make sure your customers understand, especially if you do customs. Hey, understand when you order a custom from me, I take 5 to 7 business days upon approval of, a design, for instance. Upon your approval of this design, it's going to take another 5 to 7 business days before this will be shipped out. That's important information for your customer to understand so that there's no questions left on the table. And the fact that they agreed to it before they checked out, hey, you understood it. Whether or not you read it or not, that's not my problem. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? But you agreed to it. We're all adults. You got to read. I got to read. You got to read. Let's go. So right here, when I click on apps, it tells you already what apps I have added. So there's the terms and conditions, Judge Me, and email. Those are 3 of the apps that I recommend. I know we're going kind of fast. And again, this video will be available on the dashboard so that you can run it back, pause it, do what you need to do. That was apps. Now we're going to double up to the sales channels. Sales channels are all the ways that you can earn or money can come through your stores. One of them being what we all know about is the online store, which is right here, right? You have online store, you have point of sale, you have Facebook, Instagram. All you got to do is click on this link that says sales channels and go to all recommended sales channels. It's going to show you all the ways that you can funnel sales through your store, y'all. I'll never forget, I was on this one person's live and they were telling their community that they only needed the online store. Say what? She was misguiding the people. When you click on sales channel and see all of the sales channel, you should be adding as many of these as you can. So I would say definitely install Google and YouTube. You have to be descriptive in letting your customers know what that product is you're selling, because that will help funnel that information to Google. Google and YouTube are one and the same. You can sell on YouTube once you've hit a certain, if you're number one, if you're on YouTube, but you have to also meet certain metrics to be able to sell on YouTube, but the capability is there. But at the very least, get yourself on a Google platform. And again, we talked about the analytics. The analytics will tell you how many customers have found you from Google. I've gotten some sales from Google, and it's pretty neat to see that, to see if someone searched something and came to my store from Google. What? Install. So I would install Google and YouTube. I would install Facebook and Instagram. Again, Facebook and Instagram are one and the same. When you install this, you have to first register with Facebook and get accepted. And then you can add Instagram. Okay, that's a requirement. You have to first install Facebook to a business account. It has to be a business account, y'all, not your personal page. Install it, and they will ask you to sign into your Facebook, and they will take a look at all your products and say, what the heck is this? Or they'll let you know if anything needs to be changed. Sometimes they're a little picky if you put descriptions that look like they might go against community standards. But you have to log in with your Facebook first, and then you can add Instagram. This will allow you to sell from your business pages. What? If you go live, because you got 15, 20 tumblers you're trying to get rid of, you can have them check out right from Facebook. Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing this? You know, these free platforms, Facebook and Instagram, that they're allowing us to sell on, take advantage of it. All right, let me go back to sales channels, because let's see here. Pinterest, you can also sell on Pinterest. Install them. What else can you sell on? TikTok, you can put on here. Now, TikTok, you can sell on TikTok, but when you install this is more so for marketing purposes, but you can sell on TikTok. If you have a TikTok shop set up, you can display your products up there. Okay, so I would add as many sales channels as possible: Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. And then, like I said, you have your online store and point of sale. Point of sale is when you do those live events, like at the mall, you do a pop-up shop. You want to have point of sale capability as well, and have the card reader. So you'd have to go to their hardware store and search and get their card reader. Okay, that's an investment. That's a tax write-off. So don't fret over the price. You know, it's a way for your customers to understand or to feel comfortable when they're using your card, and you're not a typical brick and mortar store. You have a safe way to accept their payment. Okay. So that is sales channels. Again, we're just summarizing these sections, not going too far in depth, because we'll be on here for hours, honey. And I know some of us is working. Okay. So that is sales channels, apps. Go into settings. Settings has a lot of different things as well. And I have a very in-depth video on my YouTube channel of how to set up everything. So again, we're going to skim. The general tab is when you are putting in your store information and your address. You are picking your default unit system. So like if you are a person that's eventually going to ship by weight, or you're ever going to put the weight of your products, you can do this from here, and it will be the default unit system anytime you enter a product. So for me, because I don't ship a lot of stuff in pounds, I would just put ounces for now. But as you grow, and this is another important thing, as you grow, things can be changed in here. Just because you set it up as ounces now doesn't mean you can't change it to pounds later. Okay. So, and that's all you really have to understand here. All right. Go to for plan. That is where you get to pick your plan with Shopify. Some of you may have signed up for the promotional plan that they have, and then thereafter that you have to pay the regular fee, which is It says $29 a month, but that's only if you pay the yearly. If you click, this is the most used plan right here, and that's the $39 a month. Users and permissions. This is really important when you have staff that help you manage your store. It could be if you hire someone to build your store, you will have to understand what users and permissions is. And this is where you can add staff. Again, I'm not going too deep into it. We're just going to skim over it. But I wanted you to let you know what these sections do. Okay. So under users permissions, this is where you add people who have permission to make changes, and you can also dictate how much access they have. Okay. If they can access everything, then they have all permission. If they can just access everything, but you don't want them to know your sales, you can say that. So that is this section as well. Payments is where you set up your store to accept payments. Okay. The default is the Shopify payments. That's where you're going to set up your Visa, your MasterCard, all that stuff, Amex. That's what you activate here. You can also link PayPal here. Now, they change every now and again. I want to see if they allow Cash App. Now, I know another platform allows Cash App, but let's see. Okay, I don't think they do. If you, or when you go live with your store, or if you're currently not offering them, make sure that you have your policies in place so that you can start adding the things like Klarna, Zip, and Afterpay. I say Sezzle with a grain of salt because if your customers don't use them, they will bill you a monthly invoice, honey. And I don't got time for that. But I'm going to let you make that decision on your own, okay? But just know that Afterpay, Klarna, and Zip, they will not charge you if your customers don't use them, but Sezzle will. They'll kindly send you a $15 a month invoice, and it don't go away. Once your first customer uses them, they will take their money off the top. So I just want you to be informed that that's what happens with Sezzle, and I put them out there very lightly, but always with that disclaimer. Just know it doesn't matter how big or how small your store is. If your customers do not use them, they will send you an invoice, okay? But it's under this section where you would also add a different payment method, and they will send you, like if you apply to Afterpay and all of them, they will send you instructions and complete instructions on how to add them to your Shopify store. They're very knowledgeable of how to do so, and they send you the instructions to add them, but it's on the payment tab that you would add them. Okay. Checkout is some information on what information do you want Shopify to collect from your customer when someone places an order. I'm not going to dive all the way into this because I got some more tabs to hit in this section. Do you want their last name only or the first and last name? We want to know exactly who is buying from us, so first and last name. Some information like company name, a second address line, I would make those optional. You never know what someone's situation is. They may have a business, they may have a very lengthy address, you just don't know. So you can make those optional. Shipping address, phone number, again, I would say optional. Marketing, do you want to collect their email address? You could say pre-selected, and if the customer wishes not for you to market to them, they can uncheck it. That's what happens if you click pre-selected. And then the ability to offer SMS, but it tells you to collect SMS, you need to set up terms and conditions, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So they tell you, that's why I love Shopify. They will tell you, yeah, we can offer this, but you got to do a couple things first. If you're a business who accepts tips, you can offer this. And you can also hide the options unless someone actually clicks on the tipping. It'll kind of be hidden like these different presets. All right, so that's an option. And then whether or not you want them to default on shipping and billing and stuff like that, they tell you what they recommend. And again, whatever works for your business. I do like this validate shipping address. Shopify is real heavy on being able to determine if someone poses a risk. It'll give customers a risk assessment, which is pretty cool based on their IP. That's amazing. All right, and then it just tells you also abandoned checkout emails is should you want to send that out to a customer. Again, you can also do that through the Shopify email app, but Shopify offers that right here. You can send an abandoned checkout email, and it lets you pick the term, the amount of time frame that passes before they'll send it. Okay. Customer accounts. This is the ability to allow the customer to create an account. So if they shop Crooked Letter Blanks, for instance, on a continual basis, they can create an account so that, and I know Lane just launched her affiliate program. So that means customers who continue to come to her will be able to rack up points based on what they sell and the parameters that Lane set up for that, right? So when a customer chooses to create an account, her store will keep track of those customers and they can go back and see how many times they've ordered. You know, it's kind of like that checkpoint for yourself. What was my last order? What did I have the last time? Do I need to reorder something? Okay, so customer accounts, I highly recommend that you allow your customers to create a customer account. Now, baby, shipping and delivery, we're not going to touch on this today. We're going to hit on another day. What may work for you today may need to be changed later on. Whatever you set up as your shipping fees today may change by November. Just know that whatever you set up to charge your customers for shipping is not set in stone. You can always change it, but this is where you set up your shipping and how much you charge your customer to send the products, right? So we're going to leave it at that because this is a whole session in itself. Taxes and duties, again, self-explanatory. Are you required to accept taxes and charge taxes? If so, you need to visit this section, and Shopify has been making it more and more easy to stay compliant with each state. So that's taxes and duties. Locations. Location is, I'm not going to check on it because it might have my address, but locations is, to put it easily here, if you have a drop shipper, those little different locations would go in that tab because those are different locations that would be sending products to your customers on your behalf. Domains. This is where you would connect your www.thisismystore.com, and it's very, very easy to do so. If you got, wherever you got your, now I only work with GoDaddy. GoDaddy has been my go-to for domains for over a decade. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They make it pretty easy for you to connect a personal domain. Notifications, again, is self-explanatory. What do you want to be notified about? Your customer notifications, anytime an order comes through, that's the best sound in the whole wide world, is a Shopify order, honey. Customer orders, staff notifications, or fulfillment requests, so on and so forth. Everybody's got a different business. Everybody's got different functionalities within their business. What works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. And let's go to languages. You can add different translations to your store. That is an amazing thing. And again, it lets you reach more customers. Policies, let me get to that real quick. Again, I told you that you definitely need to have policies in place. You need to have policies in place. Number one, to protect you. Chargebacks are real, and especially, I can only imagine what they look like around the holidays. Okay, so protect yourself and set the expectation for your customers. Setting the expectation to your customers reduces the ability, I won't say eliminates, but will reduce them being able to come back on you because you didn't make something clear. Remember, I gave the example, if you do customs, upon your approval of this design, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, Then after that, it takes another 5 to 7 days to produce that product. Make it clear so that there's no gray areas. And should anyone ever come back at you and say you didn't make something clear, listen, it's in black and white. It's not in gray. It's in black and white. And it's not for a means to go back and forth with a customer. It's a way to protect yourself as a business owner. We got to stop treating our businesses like a hobby and conduct ourselves like the true business owners that we are. And that's by having policies in place. Go to Walmart, go to Target, go to any store that you like to go to, and look at the bottom of their page. They have policies. Why wouldn't you? Right? Not only that, but having policies will qualify you to be able to offer Afterpay, Klarna, Zip, and so on, because they require you to have policies. They don't want no page unturned either. Have those policies in place. And that is where you can add those policies so that you can function like a true business. And I have a very detailed video on that as well. So we've touched on the settings, the apps, the sales channels. I didn't really say under the products tab, that is also where you set up your collections. So whatever your collections are, t-shirts, candles, body care, anything like that, that's where you set up those collections. So I have some examples there. And then you can also add your products, okay? So also you can add gift cards. That's a great thing to consider, again, for the holiday season coming up. Y'all got to think ahead and think about what your customers are going to be looking for when it's time to be in the gift giving spirit, okay? All right, so I'm going to come over here and see if y'all got any questions. I need guidance on setting up variants, okay? So anything specific, like, are you talking about sizes or what specifically? Colors and size. Okay, that's easy, girl. We got you. Let's go. So we're going to set up a product. We're going to act like it's a t-shirt, right? We're going to add a product. Okay, so I'm just going to say Thanksgiving tea. I'm not going to get too heavy into this because y'all should know how to add these things right now. Yes, but we will have a session on products. So I ain't going to get on you too bad right now. All right, so let's just say this tea is starting out at $25. Don't have Lane getting on you about charging any less than that, okay? So let's just say, again, we'll get into adding teas, but I want to do this real quick for Miss Monica. We got a t-shirt. We're going to have a description. The status of the product is going to be active. We're going to, did I say picture already? Add the picture. Categorize it. You can check the collection here for the appropriate collection for this t-shirt. Add a price. Choose whether or not you want to track the quantity or not. You would uncheck this if it is something you can make over and over again. The track quantity means that you only have a certain amount of stock, and once it's gone, it's gone. Okay. Check or uncheck whether or not this is a physical product or not. All right. And here we are at the bottom, variants. Okay. So you click on variants. You want to choose. So for size, right? That's going to be your first variant. So it automatically tells you this is size. Now you can create your own variants as well. Again, there's so many different business types out there. I can't keep up with everybody, but size is very common. Okay. So size, and then right under that is where you put the actual variants. What sizes do you offer, Miss Monica? Okay, you can say small. I think it's already there. Medium. Large. It's automatically populating there for me, so I'm just going to click on it. If not, add extra large. And then I'm going to do a 2XL, right? 2XL. So we got small, medium, large, extra large, and 2XL. I'm going to click done. Add however many you have. So that's one variant. Now I'm going to add, so if you're talking about color, if you offer basic colors like red, black, white, stuff like that, then I will go ahead and put that. Now I've done specific videos on different apps that have the ability to put in more personalized colors. Like for instance, I'm going to choose color here for the second variant, right? But for instance, I pretty much ride with one shirt vendor for the most part. I'll say 90% of the time I ride with one shirt vendor. And they have very specific colors that they offer. And so anyone ordering a custom shirt from me, know that there's going to be a wait time. I got to order the shirts. I make it known to my customers. I might have to order the shirts. I don't have all shirt colors in house. So because I ride with that vendor most of the time, there is an app. There's two apps that I can actually mimic the different shirt colors that they offer and show them on my website. And I've done a video on that. But let's just keep it simple. So I'm going to say white, black, blue, let's say pink, right? Done. So now I've got two variants up here, size and color. You can add more, but I believe, again, these platforms change things often, or I won't say often. I'm not going to say often, but they change things again to make a better experience for you as their customer so that you can push that off to your customer. And so they do updates that, people voice their opinions with Shopify, or Shopify sees an area of improvement, they will enhance certain areas of the website. So it looks like they already have. It's been a while since I've added some variants. So this is new, right? So they have small, medium, large, extra large. They have all these colors that we added, right? And so now it gives you like a little summary of all the variants. So now they're offering, how many colors was that? 4 colors for small, 4 colors for medium. Now, normally for 2X, we're going to change that price. So we got 4 variants. That's the colors for 2X. We're going to go ahead and change that price. Let's just say it's $35 for 2X, right? So it'll allow you to change the price. And the best time to change those prices is while you're adding it, but you can also go back in and edit it after the fact, okay? Again, you can add more variants, and I will double check, but I believe Shopify only allows up to 100 different variants. That's 100 different combinations, if you will, combinations of all of the variants. So if you had size, what if you had like regular, like adult size, colors, and then youth sizes, that will add another set of combinations for each one of those colors of shirts, okay? Again, if you have any questions after this is over, please drop it in the group and we will address your question. We want you to be 100% ready to tackle the holiday. We don't want you to be afraid to put some up because you had one little hiccup and you didn't ask how to correct it. We don't want you to do that. It's an open forum. Please ask your questions. Otherwise, we just shooting information out into the breeze and hoping it sticks. We don't want to do that. We want to be as specific to your needs as possible. So I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all go ahead and get ready for the holidays. All right, y'all. See you later.